Get my shit together here. Come on, man. Oh, there's the notification. Now you gotta pull it up on YouTube. Time to lose some subscribers. That's what we do. Okay, I got it. I'm just switching over to the live chat so we can have this thing all taken care of here. I can get rid of this. I don't need it anymore. Okay, so it's been brought to my attention, which I don't know if I'll be able to pull up the article. I'm going to try real fast. It was sent to me via Instagram by... no, I think I can. Okay, cool. I guess they allow you to do it now. Before they didn't. Now I guess they do. Oh, fucking... Bro, shit is tired, dude. You wonder why people don't want to read your shit. Always trying to get people to pay for things that it's like slanted opinions, dude. It's no good. But all right, listen. Before we kick this thing off, let me let you know what this is all about. Lapping at Birds podcast, obviously, as you could tell by the thing in the center of your screen here, is a podcast that I do. I am the host. Comes out every Saturday. We are currently streaming and available for download on all the major platforms up to and including Spotify, iTunes, Castbox, Breaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, pretty much anywhere that you find podcasts, you should be able to find this one. Now, you can check your local podcast listings, Anchor.fm, all that good shit, which we thank them for being able to allow us to do what we do. By us, I mean me. So let's just get right into this because this is a big deal. This is a big deal for me as a content creator. I don't necessarily know what it's going to mean for the rest of you. And I guess this is just going to sit here. So we're going to have to deal with that. This is what it is, people. Okay? This is a free show. I'm not charging you motherfuckers. So you're going to have to work with me here. All right? All right. Now, Spotify strikes podcast deal with Joe Rogan worth more than $100 million. That's crazy. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that. You should already know. If you, maybe you don't listen to the Joe Rogan Experience, maybe you don't watch it on YouTube, but I do. I have for a while. And it wasn't that long ago that Joe Rogan said that he wasn't going to allow Spotify to broadcast his podcast because they weren't going to fucking pay him for it. As a matter of fact, it wasn't only Spotify, also SiriusXM apparently offered him an opportunity to allow his podcast to be streamed across their premium radio service for fucking free, and they weren't going to pay him a goddamn dime, while both of these companies reap the benefits of having arguably one of the largest podcasts ever on their platform. So Spotify decided to apparently wise up and pay that man. They pulled the Goodfellas, dude. Oh, you want my podcast on your platform? Fuck you. Pay me. That's what happened. So his full library, dating back 11 years, is set to hit the service on September 1st and become exclusive to Spotify after that, before the end of the year. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's going to be taken off of YouTube, because I did read a little bit of this article before I decided to ultimately come in here and talk about this, because this decision could very well affect what it is that I do, as Spotify is pretty much my parent company. I started to broadcast this show courtesy of Anchor.fm, which was the only place that did not charge for bandwidth, which is why I'm able to still do this. Before that, I was going to have to fucking panhandle and try to beg people to help me to keep this thing alive by paying fucking SoundCloud to post my goddamn podcast on there. So luckily, we don't have to do that. But a few months ago, I mentioned this on the show and possibly on a live stream in the past. Spotify bought Anchor, and now they just paid Joe Rogan $100 million for his fucking show. I don't know what this means. Look, I'm the first one in line to tell you that I don't like the way YouTube does things, even though I'm currently broadcasting there right now. Every time I upload a piece of content, I have to worry about getting banned and losing the 500 plus people that I have subscribed to my channel, because I might say something that offends some fucking body in 2020, which is a disgusting thing to say out loud. But continuing on, Joe Rogan, comedian, television host, mixed martial arts commentator, has become one of the most influential and lucrative podcast hosts in recent years. This is by Ann Steele, updated today, actually. Joe Rogan has taken his podcast exclusively to Spotify Technologies SA in a licensing deal worth more than $100 million, according to a person familiar with the matter. I don't know what the fuck does that mean. The license agreement is one of the largest such deals in the rapidly growing podcast industry. The comedian, television host, and mixed martial arts commentator has become one, and you fucking assholes are not going to let me read the rest of this article? Oh, y'all suck. You know what? That's cool. And I appreciate your offer. But if I really did decide to murder my baby's mama, I think he said, I'm going to put her in the front seat and put sunglasses on her. Right? I think that's how the song goes. And drive with her 9 hours to California and have her waving to people. Hold on, let me go grab my phone, because I'm going to read the rest of this article. What is this? Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal can kiss my motherfucking ass. I thought this was the place that like rich people went when they wanted to get an update on like what their stocks were doing. You know what I mean? It's not really meant for, people, dumb people like me that don't have investment in stocks. I don't give a shit about politics unless it's on the local level. Let me go get my phone before I get sidetracked and this becomes whatever it's going to become. Even though I already said that I wasn't going to do anything today, I lied, goddammit. Apparently, I didn't want to. It's just how it happened. I don't choose these things. They choose me. And yes, I'm yelling at you from across my house right now. That's how I do it. My neighbors must love me, bro. They must. My neighbors must hate my guts, dude. Because all I do is yell in this room all day, every day. That's it. They must hate it. I mean, I know they can hear me. They told me they can hear me. And for anybody that is wondering, I have a rather expansive group of people that live underneath me and around me. But I mean, I'm sure they probably all hate my guts. Like on a down low, they talk about me when I'm not around, right? But I mean, that's how it happens. What are you gonna do? I don't have a hate for anybody, so I'm sure they know that. It's all in good. Oh, there he is on Instagram. How do you like that shit? When did you do this? Announcement. Podcast is moving to Spotify. Starting on September 1st, the podcast will be available on Spotify as well as all platforms. And then at the top of the year, it will move exclusively to Spotify, including the video version, which I was already I'm working on a theory to go into this, but we'll get to that in a moment. It will remain free. That's in capital letters. And will be the exact same show. It's just a licensing deal. Like I'm saying it in the way that he probably said it when he wrote it. You see what I did there? So Spotify won't have any creative control in the show, but right now we'll see about that. If you watch the first season of Dave, you know how these things go. They call you in, they sweet talk you to death, they get you in bed, and then they start choking you and slapping you around. And before you know it, you're involved in a whole deal. You had no idea what was going to happen in the first place. They won't have any creative control over the show. They just want me to continue doing it the way I'm doing it right now. We will still have clips up on YouTube, but the full version of the show will only be on Spotify at the end of the year. I'm excited to have the support of the largest audio platform in the world, and I hope you folks are there when we make this switch. I will just write because it doesn't matter. Congrats, dude. Boom. There you go. There's my fucking contribution to the goddamn podcast world. Congratulations, man. I want to be just like you one day. Hopefully. Maybe one day I'll be a real podcaster. Fuck that. God damn it. And Styles P is live too. I can't compete with this shit. That's my man right there, dude. He probably would hate my guts in real life, but I fucking love his music, dude. I love it. I don't think I go a day without listening to his tunes, but let's get back to this article if it will let me scroll down because I was reading it downstairs. Or no, I guess that's it. That's the whole article. Or there is more to it, but I'm not paying to read it, so fuck that. Time to go into conspiracies. All right. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? You might be asking yourself. Said nobody. Let me tell you about it. I think this is Spotify's move to take over the fucking industry. You heard me right. Look, it's not a secret. People do not like the direction that YouTube is moving in. They don't like it. I don't like it. I'm on YouTube because that's the fucking place to be. Let's be honest. Right? I mean, if it came down to that's where most of my viewership is on YouTube. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you people. I'm sure you can find the numbers if you really looked. On average, I get about 3 streams and or downloads on the Anchor website. I'm going to take my hoodie off because I'm going to be sweating in this motherfucker in a moment, dude. I'm going to be working this shit up. But, all right, so, I don't get that many streams, but we're still in an infancy. We're still in an infancy stage. No different than when Sirius bought Howard. Well, see, you bring up a good point, dude, which is that I brought up Sirius before because Joe Rogan has mentioned in passing that SiriusXM offered him a deal for no money, and they would then allow him to be streamed onto their platform service. Now, this is not unheard of. If you are into stand-up comedy in any way, shape, or form, then you've probably heard the name Sebastian Maniscalco. He does a podcast with, God damn it, what's his fucking name? Pete somebody. Motherfucker. What's his goddamn name? Corielli. Corielli, that's why. That's what his name is. They feel Rogan has enough following to get money into Spotify. That's fair. Now, I was just telling Demos this before, which is that I've watched this entire thing happen from the beginning, because when something goes down look, I'm not the industry guy, right? But I would be crazy to not pay attention when something happens that could very well change the way that I do things, possibly. What does Spotify offer that YouTube doesn't? Again, fair question. And my answer to that would be money. Now, again, I don't know how much you all like stand-up comedy, if you do at all, but I'm going to quote Mark Norman, who I bring up a lot. I know I bring up a core group of people on this program, which the live streams are not necessarily connected to the podcast, but since I'm running everything, what are you going to do? But Mark Norman was just talking on his podcast, Tuesdays with Stories, with Joe List, that came out yesterday. An episode came out yesterday where he was talking about how... Right, yeah, no, I know what you meant, dude. I was going to make a bigger point and then circle around to get to you, which was that Norman was having an issue being paid through YouTube. That's what I think it brings the artist. As far as what it brings to the viewer, now this is what you were going to talk about. I brought this up in a podcast that has not come out yet. I fucking hate Spotify for podcasts. The only thing it's good for is listening to the Broad Street Breakdown presented by Vinny Pazienza. If you're unaware, is an underground rapper from Jedi Mind Tricks, also affiliated with Army of the Pharaohs, who is also synonymous with demigods, apathy, self-titled, esoteric, Juju Mob, all these guys. They're a staple in the underground scene. Now, my podcast is on Spotify, so I figured, you know what? Rap sucks. Well, sir, that's your opinion, and I vehemently disagree with you. However, that's the beautiful part about America, baby, is we don't have to agree, right? Now, I'm sure you're probably more of a rock guy because you like the Alice in Chains. You hear I said that? That's a very white way to say you like the Alice in Chains, right? Like there's more than one. I have to specify. I understand why you hate rap. I can break rap for you down in a nutshell right now. I'm broke. I'm miserable. I'm smoking weed. I'm getting laid. I'm getting money. I'm hustling. Right? This is what it does. I'm hustling. And I'm not talking about this new age fucking lame shit either. But basically, I'm hustling. Oh, now I got a deal. Now I got some money. Now I got cars. Now I have models, and I'm leaving the hood rats behind, and I'm popping bottles. And by the way, in case you were unaware, I'm the motherfucking man or woman. Because I'm not going to exclude women. There's been great female rappers that have done a lot for the industry. Queen Latifah has done a lot for the industry. Salt and Pepper have done a lot for the industry. But I understand why people hate rap music. I get it. I hate a lot of it too. If we're going to be honest with each other, I do love some rap. ASAP Rocky, Schoolboy Q, Wiz, 50 Cent, QD, and a few others. The only person I know on that list is 50 Cent. I've heard of ASAP Rocky before. Schoolboy Q sounds like an old school rapper, but I'm pretty sure that's a new age guy. And if you're talking about Kid Cudi, I know the Day and Night song, but that's as far as I go with him. So you're like industry kind of rap a little bit. I get it. I like 50 Cent's first album. Well, not his first album, his second album. Power of the Dollar was an okay album. It was a little bit too industry for me as far as like the singing is concerned. And then he came out with Get Rich or Die Trying, which was still kind of industry. Obviously, it had several industry hits like Pimp. There were other ones in the club. try Dope Dealer, Groovy Tony from Schoolboy Q. All right, I'll write that down. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. I'll write that down so I don't forget. Dope Dealer. Why did I say Dope Boy Dealer? Dope Dealer. Which, in unrelated news, you know a song that really fucking bothers me? Groovy Tony. Or Groovy Tony. Tony. School. Boy. Q. Okay. I like rock because of the instruments, basically. That's fair. I mean, one of my favorite things ever was an interview that Prince did where he was talking about how artists are not artists anymore because they don't play instruments really. And he specifically was shitting on Lady Gaga, saying that how dare she call herself an artist when she's never basically strung a guitar in her fucking life, which I respect that. And he basically is saying that everything that I listen to is not real music either. But that's fucking Prince, man. He can say whatever he wants. And you gotta respect it because he's the fucking man, dude. Prince is the man. Now, I don't listen to his music, but every woman I have ever met wants to fuck that man. Every one of them. Every one of them. It's insane. So you have to respect that. You have to respect that. And also, blouses. Right? I think that was what it was, the Dave Chappelle skit with Charlie Murphy and Prince. Love that one. But you said that's what makes this country great. Exactly. The fact that we can all have a difference in opinion. We need fucking rock music, dude. Some of my favorite rappers don't even fucking listen to rap music. They listen to people like Janis Joplin or Luther Vandross, people of that nature. They don't listen to fucking rap music, which when I was younger, I had a stereotype in my head, I guess. The Guns N' Roses is the band chicks love to fuck to. Or love to fuck, rather. I can't stand fucking Guns N' Roses, dude. But I have to respect it. I have to respect it. I mean, it's just not for me, but I get it. I see the appeal. But then again, I can look at anything and see both sides of an argument as to why you could like it or you can hate it. Hey, now settle down. Yeah, I know that's going to get me in some trouble. But, you know, it is what it is. We need rock music. We need country music. We need these things. But to jump back into the initial conversation here, the one thing that I think Spotify brings to the table for the viewer that YouTube doesn't, for one, is battery life, I guess, in a sense. Having to keep your phone open while you listen to a podcast is extremely annoying. Especially if you're anything like me, I like to put it in my pocket and just go about my business. I don't want to stare at a screen when there's just two people talking or one person talking and it's a thumbnail. Listen to Sweet Child of Mine and tell me you don't like it. What's the matter? You don't like it? I mean, I can listen to it right now and tell you everything I hate about it, but who wants to deal with all that? But dude, I get it 100%. I understand what the appeal is. Like, Welcome to the Jungle. There's nothing about that song that I like. Nothing. Well, that's not true. I like the story aspect of it. I don't like this dude's voice. As unique as it is, I have to acknowledge the fact that it is unique and it is needed. This man did something that nobody else was doing. And Slash is the fucking man, dude. I used to love her is better than Sweet Child. Oh, shit. Getting into the weeds here. And I think they just dropped the album not that long ago, probably like 10 years ago, which I think like Chinese Democracy, something, right? Then they broke up and they came back together. But look, that's one thing that it does offer. The one thing that Spotify sucks for is, as far as I know, you can't download an episode off of Spotify. Probably can if you have the premium version, but, I mean, it doesn't really offer a whole lot other than I don't think there's as much censorship as far as YouTube goes. As far as I know, I don't know for a fact that to be true. Okay, so that's still Guns N' Roses being. But I'm broadcasting the discussion so that you can see what is all happening, and that's right. Eminem did file a suit against Spotify for not paying them royalties, and I believe Taylor Swift did the same thing. So they said, "Fuck music, bro. We'll just go into the podcast business because we've made all this money, bro." You know what they're doing? They're basically Spotify is basically taking the money they made from selling cocaine and they're buying weed with it, is what basically has just happened here to keep themselves level. That's what's going on. Now, I've never sold cocaine in my life, but that's because I don't have the balls to get into that end of the industry. I went in on the ground level and I stopped at the ground level because jail is not a fun place to go and I don't want to go back. And to be completely honest with you, I'm a fucking pussy. Let's just say what it is. I don't see anything fun with being locked in. What happened to me was the best and the worst thing that could have ever happened. Nothing will change the way that you think about a situation in your life faster than being locked in a cell with two junkies that are detoxing from crack cocaine and heroin when you have a fucking uh, a severe thing with vomiting, and that's all these motherfuckers are doing all day long. When they're not sleeping, they're throwing up. That was it. And then on top of that, I had to sleep on the floor underneath the fucking bunk of these two fucking dudes. And plus, you got a guy staring at your dick every time you go to pee, and he's looking at you. I'm like, bro, don't. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy, dude, but I pulled my fucking dick out to take a piss, and this dude starts looking at me crooked, and I'm like, bro, don't even fucking think about it. Don't even think about it. Because if you think I'm not gonna say I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna hurt you, dude. I'll promise you that. I will fucking find a way to hurt you, dude. I'm not going. You're not just gonna get in my ass. That's not gonna happen. There's gonna be an exchange to be made, and you better fucking hurt me badly because I'm not going down with a fight. But so by Joe Rogan, this is so bad for connecting the dots here, but Joe Rogan making 100 million or whatever the fuck the number was on Spotify, that offsets the entire industry. And I know some people would like to believe that the industry doesn't start and end with Joe Rogan because there's a lot of people that are possibly above and below Joe Rogan, but let's face it, he's the most well-known podcaster that there is. Everybody knows who he is. Even if you bring up the fucking podcast and somebody doesn't know what you're talking about, all you have to say is the Fear Factor guy, and immediately everybody knows who it is that you're talking about. I don't see the value. Well, that may be the value in and of itself, is they're trying to create value by buying this podcast. I'm pretty sure they're trying to instill value in what it is that they have. Because honestly, I use Stitcher for a podcast platform because I can have the entire episode of whatever I'm listening to buffer before I listen to it, right? And then turn my data off so that I'm completely offline and then listen to the entire episode. You can't do that with Spotify. And I don't know about any other podcast platforms. How is he going to make Spotify more than that? Well, see, this is the $1 million question. Obviously, we know if they're taking the video element off of YouTube. Look, we already know, if you pay attention even a little bit, you already know that SiriusXM, outside of being a global, well, I shouldn't say global because you can't get it all over the world, but as far as countrywide is concerned, they are one of the biggest names in radio, right? They bought uh, XM radio to become Sirius XM, and now they have a video element to their platform, basically making YouTube obsolete is what is happening now. All these companies are realizing, well, sure, we can have audio, but people are still gonna sometimes want to look at the people who are talking because of facial expressions and whatnot. And if you're wondering why it is that I don't have my ugly mug presented on the camera right now, that's because with everybody being crazy on the internet for this moment, it's much easier for me to not be on camera and just go the audio route. It puts less strain on StreamYard and makes it a little bit easier for me to be able to broadcast this. But SiriusXM just unveiled this a few months ago, where they now have video to go along with their radio shows. Like they had cameras installed into the fucking radio studios. So now everything is done recorded by microphone and camera at the same time. So now Spotify has looked at this and said, we're going to do the same thing. They're going to just rip the carpet out from underneath YouTube. Do people really pay for the radio or just wait a few days until it hits YouTube? There actually are a lot of people that do pay for radio. And here's what I don't understand. If SiriusXM was commercial, look, I understand why they air commercials. It's because hosts need time to get up and go to the bathroom, maybe walk around the room a little bit, stretch their legs, whatever. But SiriusXM will have you fucking pay for a radio show, and then they're gonna bombard you with commercials. Literally, like 7-minute blocks of commercials you have to sit and listen to, and then you must be left wondering, like, what the fuck am I paying you for? Post COVID, I mean, dude, I think a lot of people look. I don't think it's necessarily. It's not the radio that people are buying. It's the personalities that are on the radio. Be it, Jim Norton, Sam Roberts, Ron Bennington, the other fucking dude you mentioned before, Howard Stern. They're paying for the personalities. That's basically all they're doing. Because if these dudes didn't exist, people would be like, I have terrestrial radio. The only thing that separates Sirius from terrestrial radio is the fact that you can curse. It's uncensored. You can't say whatever you want, but you can say the 7 dirty words and not have to worry about getting kicked off the air. However, Sirius does a very similar thing to what Netflix does. They don't tell the people that are on their shows what their viewership is. They don't tell them the numbers because they don't want, basically, from my viewpoint as somebody who's not employed by SiriusXM and just hears secondhand information from people who are, not in a friendly conversation kind of a way, literally as a consumer to some shows, I believe it's for negotiating power. If you found out you were doing Howard Stern numbers, they wouldn't be able to lowball you. You would have more power in the negotiation room. And anybody who's good at business knows if you want to compete, you have to continuously have that edge, which is what they do. And that's what Spotify is trying to do. They're trying to find the edge. YouTube fucked up. Very recently, YouTube fucked up by putting all the pressure on people the way that they have, making it so that everybody has to declare their videos being either 18 or older or strictly only for children, where now you won't be able to leave comments. people can subscribe, but you're now going to be demonetized. If you curse on YouTube, apparently you can't monetize on your channel. That's fucking insane. I mean, thankfully, I don't have to worry about these things because I'm not in a position where I'm big enough to worry about monetization. But it's the point of knowing that there is no future in YouTube for me, outside of maybe a plaque one day that I might get if enough people subscribe to my channel, which would be fucking sick. I mean, I know at first, when I first saw that, I was like, dude, I don't need that stupid fucking thing. But then I think about what an achievement it would be just to be able to be like the greatest people who have been on YouTube have gotten one of these things, and now I have it. Arguably, you could say that I'm demeaning the very value of this thing, but it is what it is. YouTube and the whole alphabet company is straight up censorship. It is, but that again, that's something that Spotify can offer that YouTube is not going to offer. Now, does that mean that they're necessarily any better than other people? I'm not sure. I don't think so. They've practiced in China under Barry's entire watch. I don't know who that is, but so what you're saying is that that YouTube has rolled out these rules in a place like China where people don't have the freedoms. Well, no, they won't. Let me tell you why they won't. Google Podcast is the worst fucking thing I have ever used in my entire life. It is the worst thing I've ever used in my entire life. Now, don't get me wrong. Google is a search engine. And maybe if they decide to get their life together, but Google and YouTube have teamed up together fairly recently. I just received an email. As a matter of fact, I'll pull it up, and holy shit, the inside of my ear itches like crazy, dude. Like, this is no good. I hate that because you're not supposed to stick your fingers in your ear, but it itches. What am I supposed to do? Nobody gives me, like any alternative options of how I'm supposed to deal with this. But let me share to you my email here. Oh, you mean Barack Obama? Okay, I forget that his name is Barry sometimes. That's exactly what I'm saying. Bro, under socialism / communism, you'll have no choice. Well, dude, we're already fucked. I understand this. I understand it. We're not anywhere near as free as we like to pretend that we are. Don't get me wrong. People are not getting their fucking hands cut off for stealing. But, I mean, come on, dude. There's a racial divide still in this country. We already know that. Okay, you can't say certain things. The fucking FBI now has the ability to look at your search history on the internet without a fucking warrant. I'm sorry, where do we live again? I thought this was America, people. And fuck that Jay-Z, R. Kelly song, by the way, too. But, we're slowly going to get stripped away of everything that makes America America. And it's all going to be the same shit. But that's the way it is. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go ahead and be right back, dude. Don't even worry about it. It ain't going to be that long. See that shit? I told you. Told you it wasn't going to be that long. Now I'm already on my way back in here, dude. Oh, by the way, I bought a pair of sneakers on the 8th. And I just got them in today, and they're the worst decision I've ever made. I gotta send these fucking gimmicks back, dude. They're horrible. You want me to show them to you real quick before we go back into this Spotify Google war? Bro, we're all gonna be robots in about 20 years anyway, so it's not gonna matter. Soon, when you wake up in the morning, you're just gonna see like how in Futurama when Fry was going through the store and all these companies already know what it is you're thinking and they can read your mind and all that shit. We're going to get there, bro. I don't know. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime, but I do believe it's going to happen. And I know a couple of years ago you could have called me a crazy person and tried to have me institutionalized someplace, but honestly, right now it seems like it's a legitimate possibility. I mean, for fuck's sake, dude, Elon Musk was just on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about they're developing a microchip that they can put into paraplegic people that will allow them to walk again, bro. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I don't know where they went. I think she moved them someplace. Hold on a second. I don't know if you're able to hear me while I'm walking around. Probably not well, but this is how professionals do it, people. Okay? Come on, man. Bro, I think she. There they are. Nope, that's not them. Never mind. I thought that was them. That's not them. I have to ask her when she comes back upstairs where did she put them because I have no idea where they are. But they're way too. There's no. There's no. There's no support in them at all whatsoever. I gotta catch up here. I'm playing Metal Slug while I'm listening, so I won't be talking about this segment. Well, I just appreciate that you're here at all, dude. So, I don't mind that. I work for the top research university in the world, and the holy shit stories I could tell you. Well, what do you research in this place? Pauly Shore walks around in his podcast too. I didn't know Pauly Shore had a podcast, but god damn it, man. You know what, dude? I'm not biting off of any of these people. The shit that I steal, I will tell you blatantly that I will steal it. Like the pandemic, I stole that from the Broad Street Breakdown because it's brilliant and I'm not that smart. You know what I mean? But, well, dude, then again, look, I pace all the time. All the time. Every second of the fucking day. Literally, when I'm not sitting down in this chair, 99% of the time, I'm walking around. But then again, if somebody told you that you were going to be in a wheelchair and there's nothing that you can do about it, would you not take the advantage of walking as many steps as you could until you couldn't anymore? I mean, that's kind of the logic I use. But I mean, I can't, I guess, I guess I've done it my entire life. So I don't know. Maybe it's something deeply rooted in my psyche. Something wrong with me. I'm not sure. Electrician for the university. And believe it or not, I worked on Stephen Hawking's wheelchair. Well, did you smell any fucking kids on that wheelchair while you were hooking the fucking wheels up to it? Because I heard somebody say recently that motherfucker was a pedophile. I don't know how true that is, and I don't even remember where did I hear that from. But I can believe that, dude. That's fucking awesome. Was he a nice guy? He came off like a bit strange, but I mean that would tend to happen when the only time anybody brings you up is when they're talking about ridiculous mathematical equations. But I can believe that. That's fucking cool, dude. So, it was full of piss. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. So, check this out. I could share my inbox with, yeah, fuck it. Who gives a shit? What are you going to do? Email me? That's why it broke down. Oh, no. You think his bag broke? And then leaked on his wheel? That sucks, dude. Yeah, that's embarrassing, man. I got to tell you, as a person that unintentionally pees on themselves fairly often, not intentionally. Obviously, retention is a motherfucker, dude, but it's embarrassing. But at least I can change my clothes. I could take a shower on my own. I don't have to call a guy and be like, "Hey man, can you do me a favor and replace the wheel on my wheelchair because I peed on it?" You know what I mean? No, years of oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that must have smelled fucking great. Oh, it's just fucking great, man. It's all over, man. It's game over. Uh, Jesus, that's rough, dude. That's real rough. But check this out. This is from Google. Google Play Music. So you know exactly what it is, what we're talking about here. And this was emailed to me on May 14th, 2020, 1:07 on the PM. That dude had an army of what the fuck? I gotta look up that word, dude. I don't know what that means. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. I'll be with you in a moment. Sycophant. What the fuck is that? A person who acts. What? What is that? Now we're 2 words in. I still can't complete this sentence because there's another word I have to look up. Obsequious. Attentive to an exercise or servile degree. All right. Person who is obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain. So, in other words, he's acting like he's better than you, is what it sounds like. Like, dude, I'm smart. I'm the man. So, since I'm smarter than you, basically, you should listen to what I have to say. What is this type of behavior? What is sycophant behavior? Is an adjective sycophant is perfect for describing someone who uses flattery to get what they want. You see sycophant behavior in Hollywood all the time, from the red carpet interviews pouring flattery on movie stars to fawning autograph seekers. Oh, I get it. So it's I love what you do. You want to blow me yet? And shit like that. Sycophants idealize someone and try to gain their favor. So basically, he was like, "Oh, dude, you must be like the best electrician on the entire campus, dude. Thank you so much. Without you, what I do would not be possible." Meanwhile, he's just saying that because he needs you to fix the wheel on his chair. So I get it. I hate that. I don't like it when people are facetious like that, dude, because then, how do I buy anything that you're saying? And I learned that word from a fucking movie. Thank you, Samuel L. Jackson. He taught it to me. So don't tell me movies don't teach you anything, dude. Okay, so check this out. Hi, Laughing at Birds podcast. Hi. We're writing an important update. Later this year, Google Podcast Manager will replace Google Play Music podcast portal as our home for podcast creators on Google. We recently launched. I lost my spot. Hold on. We recently launched podcast managers to provide deeper analysis to help understand your listeners and reach them across Google products. A bit of context on this decision. We've announced that YouTube Music will eventually replace Google Play Music later this year. With this transition, we are encouraging podcast listeners to transfer their subscription and episode progress to Google Podcast, our dedicated podcast player, for free on Android, iOS, and web. For podcast creators, we recommend transferring your shows to the podcast managers now so that you can see what works by the second, get a dive deep into each episode, see when your listeners tune in and when they drop off, which is shortly after I begin talking, I'm sure. Uh, Understand new listening habits, see how your audience listens across devices like smart speakers, smartphones, and desktop computers, and reach listeners across Google. Claim your podcast to ensure it's available to millions of podcast listeners across Google Search, Google Assistant, and the Google Podcast app, and more. And now a brief intermission while we head back over to the comments section. No, wait, I already read that. Never mind. I went in the wrong one. To be honest, all social media probably was created by the CIA. You know? You know, I heard a rumor a long time ago that Mark Zuckerberg is really a CIA agent. And then when I sat down and I really thought about it, it makes perfect fucking sense, dude. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these things are the ultimate surveillance tool. It's not only are you spying on everybody, but people are fucking willing to hand over the information, where they live, who their childhood friends are. They check in every place that they go. You know their every fucking movement. However, when it comes time to fill out a census, you can see people kind of push back on it a little bit, which is insane. It's insane that people don't connect the two things together. One of my biggest regrets in this life that I'm living right now is the fact that I created a Facebook account. Honest to God, dude. It's one of my biggest regrets is becoming on social media. Well, I should say first off, MySpace, because that helped the cops find me and arrest me when I was selling weed. And not that they wouldn't have found me already, but there was a few different addresses that were stored, and I did not have a license. So I was as off the grid in modern day times as you can get. And ultimately, how they were able to discover the two things that wound up sinking me. One was the senior picture in a yearbook, which the rat fuck uh that helped to set me up for a controlled buy wound up using to point me out for a grand jury. And then on top of that, they used the MySpace to be able to confirm that, you know, that I was who I said I was, which I can only imagine my MySpace page must be a fucking time capsule of cringiness. From what I can remember, it's full of uh things that to do with like Scarface and the Rat Pack and shit like that. My next phone will be a flip phone, and the school system has failed these kids. Yeah, I mean, dude, the school system failed me clearly, but I mean, it's unfortunate, but that people just don't care. They want workers, dude. That's all it's about. They don't want schools were not made to breed scientists and doctors and shit like that. Schools were made to breed trade workers and uh people that move shit off of trucks, you know, shit like that. Speaking of schools, I wish they would teach a trade in grade school. I don't see the need for all the other useless shit. Just teach these kids a trade, and when they grow, they can do something else. And then it's a socialist plot. Two separate comments, so let's address them one by one. Well, I know immediately being completely transparent, my first thought was, well, grade school, that might be a little young. And then I remembered when I was in middle school, they still had wood shop and metal shop, which is like the seventh or eighth grade. You weren't even able to, you had to take those classes in order to pass your grade. They were, they were a non, like you had no choice. Those were your two electives. You had no choice. You had to fucking take them. They were like gym and health, like they were required in order for you to pass your grade. So it literally went from metal shop 1 year, automotive, wood shop, and whatever the fucking alternative to that is. Schools are completely ran and owned by the Democrats. Where do you think participation trophies come from? I mean, dude, I think Democrat and Republican titles are bullshit. And let me tell you, I'll tell you why I believe that in a second. I'm just going to finish reading this real quick. Note that your use of the podcast manager will be governed by the Google Terms of Service rather than the additional terms of service for Google Play Music Podcast Service. We also recommend that you download the data you'd like to keep from Google Play Music Podcast Portal. Beginning in July, you will no longer be able to add new shows to the podcast portal. Transfer now. I haven't done that because Anchor is in charge of all the distribution as far as where my podcast goes. So I can try to do it, but I don't want to fuck it up and ruin it for anybody that may be using the Google platform. Now, I do only check Anchor Analytics, so there could be people that are listening on other platforms and I can have no idea. But to get back into this conversation over here, I'm not entirely sure what a socialist plot would be. And I don't think there's a real difference between a Democrat and a Republican, other than the fact that one is for abortion, one isn't, one is pro guns, one is not. However, both of these people are out for the same thing at the end of the day, and that's to make corporations rich. They don't give a fuck about any of us. You know, George Carlin had a really good bit on this in I forget the name of the show. I always want to say it's Jammin' in New York, but that's not what it is. I think it might be Live from New Jersey, something like that, where he says that basically, you know, the corporations don't want you to wake up. They want you to be able to keep getting rammed in your ass with the big red, white, and blue dildo, so that while all the corporations are running away with the money, you go to work. Basically, the class system in this country is made up of the rich who stay rich and do absolutely nothing and pay no taxes, the middle class who pay all the taxes and keep the rich rich, and the lower class who are there to keep the middle class in line and staying to keep going to those fucking jobs. Which I also would like to make a side note on that as well. But the more proper names are progressive versus conservative. Democrats and Republicans just fall on a spectrum. And government control is the end game. Democrats and Republicans are just camouflage. That I 100%, I don't see how anybody doesn't see that. But these are a lot of the same jerk offs that will argue over the same issues without realizing how much they have in common. I can sit down. Dude, the last time I went out drinking a couple of years ago, I went out talking to a dude who was an avid Trump supporter back when, you know, Trump was trying to get his shit together to run for office. I believe it was when Obama was on his way out. Honestly, I don't remember, but I do remember the conversation coming up where this guy was like, he's already He's already has a few in him, and he's looking to have that argument about politics. And apparently, he does this everywhere that he goes, because while he comes up to me and he's like, "So who are you voting for?" And his girlfriend immediately is like, "No, come on, man, not here, not tonight, don't do this shit again." Apparently, this is what this motherfucker does. Every country has a rich class, and don't get it twisted. The top 10% pay 70% of the taxes. For fucking where? Then why is it? Why do we all? Why does the middle class pay so much for taxes? And I'm assuming that you're one of the fucking top 10% from that reaction. Bro, I don't have time for you, side bitch, right now. I'm making content, god damn it. Fuck me, dude. I will get to you when it is your turn. Jesus. These bitches are thirsty, god damn it. They want to take. No, I'm kidding. She's going through a horrible time right now. The father of her children, somebody that she was fucking dating for, I don't know, 12 years, decided to break it off with her and go fuck some other asshole. So, now she's hitting me up. But the problem is, I don't know what to do with it, because leaving her is the best thing he could do for her. They were no good together. The relationship was abusive. It was very bad, man. But I know I've seen this happen several times already. He mistreats her. He fucks around on her, whatever. She says she's done with him. I swear to God, I'm finished with him. And then the second that he goes to take her back, she's on her fucking knees to suck his dick. Dude, I don't have the patience for it, man. I really don't. How long is he going to be gone this time? But you want to fucking waste my time and cry to me about how unhappy you are and how, you wish life would be different, and you wish you didn't have, like, you appreciate your children, but it's fucked up how he's left you in this situation. Yeah, bitch, I told you that, though. I told you this fucking years ago, dude, that this was gonna fucking happen. I called this shit, and you didn't want to fucking listen to me, though, dude, because God forbid somebody listens to the handicap guide that may have a fucking grip on what's going on occasionally. I'm not the best guy in the world. I've made my share of fucking mistakes, dude, but I can tell when somebody's not really into you. For fuck's sake, trying to help this fucking girl out, bro. She just wasn't having it. The government squanders it. All right, maybe they do. I'm sure that's fair. Dude, I don't pretend to understand the way the fucking taxes and classism works. I live in a low-income apartment facility where the fucking 20-something-year-old maintenance guy couldn't figure out how to get the goddamn key fob to work, so he took the fucking handle off of the goddamn door downstairs, dude. So now anybody could just walk in the fucking building. It's fucking insane. That's all you gotta say, bro. And quit helping chicks. Well, no. Not chicks. Singular. One woman, and she's grandfathered in because her and whatever she is to me, her and the girl that I've been fucking for 15 years are best friends. They were like fucking training wheel lesbians in high school, bro. So, that relationship is kind of like grandfathered in. I have to deal with her. I don't have to. Look, we hated each other, but, one thing leads to another, and things happen, and dynamics of relationship changes after fucking some Jim Beam. But, these things happen. Look, I love her to death, dude. I really do. Honestly, I appreciate her as a human being. I just don't. It is a lost cause. It is a lost cause. It's 100% a lost cause. I know that. She knows that. But we have to play this charade as if we both believe that this is going to be making a difference. For all I know, dude, she could be busy trying to stick her fucking head in a noose right now. And if she winds up hanging herself because I decided that I wanted to do a fucking live stream and not listen to her bitch and complain, I'm not going to be able to forgive myself for that. Basically, is what it comes down to. All women are crazy, even the so called good ones. Dude, yeah. 100%. Definitely. That's not even a question. That's not even debatable. Any woman that would disagree with that fucking argument is the first in line to punch their crazy ticket, bro. They know how crazy they are. They know how crazy they are. Which is why you really gotta respect lesbians because they're doubling down, dude. Like you're a woman and you're dating a woman? Holy fucking shit. Somebody get you a medal. I mean, seriously, I couldn't do it. But then again, I couldn't fuck a man either. Can you imagine? I know what it's like to live with men are disgusting. I couldn't fuck a man. Let's take the gayness out of the whole situation, dude. Who the fuck would want to deal with all that? I want to fucking deal with somebody that's worse than me. I mean, in a lot of respects, the roles are kind of reversed because Jen's more of a slob than I am. But I mean, that's bad enough. I couldn't imagine. But this is what it is, dude. This is what it is, dude. I'm not sure what to do. And I know the second that I pick up that phone, it's gonna be hours long conversation, and it's gonna go in a fucking circle. The entire thing is gonna go in a goddamn circle, and she's gonna repeat the same points over and over again. And eventually she's gonna realize that I'm not paying attention to half of what the fuck is she saying. So she's gonna wind up throwing in a random question here or there to try to gain my interest. So then when I finally do engage her, she's gonna cut me off at some point to add on to whatever I was just saying to eventually flip the point back over to the first thing that she was originally talking about. It's risk in conversation form. I often laugh at the gays fighting to get married. But dude, my cousin did it, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Like you have all I do get it. I mean, I'm not gonna look. If you told me because you're straight you couldn't get married, the only thing I would probably want to do is get married. But that's because you're telling me that I can't. When they had it made before they didn't have to, but of course you're gonna want to because it's a quote unquote normal thing to do in society, even though we already know marriage is pretty much a scam that has been created by the diamond industry and the courthouses. That's basically all it is. Doesn't mean a fucking thing, dude. I I love Jen as much as I do, whether there's a fucking stupid piece of paper that says that me and her contractually binded to be together, or if we are just together in some capacity. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean I care more for her because we have some fucking stupid piece of paper that some old bag in a courthouse was able to put a stamp on and make official. They should thank those who wouldn't allow them. I mean, that's a little steep. I understand the general point that you're making, but a lot of people I think would misunderstand what you mean by that. I know what you're saying is like they were helping them by not allowing them to get married. Like, dude, no, you don't understand. I'm trying to help you. You don't want it. Well, yeah. See, there's a follow up point right there. Married for 20 years and it's hell. Well, if it's any consolation, I've literally been living with and only with the same person for 15 years. 2005 we started seeing each other, and we're sitting in 2020. I mean, we attempted the engagement and the marriage thing, and that didn't work out. And I'm very old school traditional, so you know I'm I'm not getting married multiple times, dude. It's either I'm gonna get married once and that's it, or I'm not gonna get married at all and that's the end of it. Because that's the way I was raised. There's some old school Italian, Irish, Catholic guilt in me. That's where that comes from. I'm not blind to the facts. That's why I understand. That's why I think the way that I do. But it put too much pressure on the relationship, to be honest. She didn't like to be confined, knowing that when you get married, I've talked about this before in the Holy Bird Bath episode, but when you get married, you're taking away the imaginary door that allows you to walk out of the relationship. Because then you got to breach a contract, and did you sign a prenup if you have anything worth anything? And you're taking, when you're just in a regular relationship, the other person knows that they can leave whenever they want. I agree. That's why I'm still with her and I love my kids. See, fortunately, we don't have any children. We've raised two of them pretty much. I mean, we had her nephew for years. We were taking care of her nephew for years. Like, there's a deeper story that goes into all that, and I can't really speak on it because it's not my place to talk about how good or bad other people are at parenting. But to put it lightly, we we were with them for probably about 5 years, so we pretty much raised him, spent a lot of time with him. We did the kid thing. We didn't have to have kids of our own, and we've been looking after her little brother and her nephew their entire lives. So we've gotten the experience of being parents without actually being parents. And I hear what you're saying. Some of you will probably say, well, unless you're with that kid 24/7, 7 days a week, you don't know what it's like. Yeah, the fuck I do. But let me read these comments real quick. You got those who want freedom and those who want something exclusive. Yeah, for sure. Have a kid. That's what you're on this planet for. Not me. Dude, it would be grossly irresponsible for me to add a child into this planet. Always wanted a chick to threaten to cut my weenie off. I've had that happen on several occasions, dude. Bro, that shit's scary, especially when you're fucking a bitch that's crazy enough to do it. No good. No bueno. That's no good, dude. But seriously, look, we got this kid up in the morning, fed him breakfast, made sure he was showered, clean clothes, going to school, helping with homework, get him off the school bus, fucking get dinner ready for him, put some educational shit on the color box for him so that he's not watching something that's just gonna rot his fucking brain. Like, oh, cool, dude, you want to watch television? Okay, cool, man. Then you're gonna learn fucking languages. We're gonna have that Asian chick that speaks Spanish and Mandarin, and she's gonna talk to you about how to do different things and learning shit and sitting and reading to him, trying to fucking basically doing all the shit that a fucking parent would do while simultaneously trying to not become the role of a parent, knowing that we are not. We did all of that. So while it might not have been for 18 fucking years, dude, I 100% I understand what the fuck it is like to have a hand in raising a child. That if we were not fucking there, who knows what would have happened. It's more about looking into the kid's eyes and seeing you. And dude, I get it. Look, a part of me is bummed. A small part of me is bummed out that I will never have that experience. But when these kids were born, dude, and they handed them off to me when I didn't want them, there was, I mean, I know I'm not a parent, but even in just that moment to know like this little fucking fragile thing, like I'm bonded to this kid now. I didn't want this. Like I love those kids as if they were my own. I know that they're not, and I'm never going to replace their parents, nor would I want to. But I can understand why people say that it's such a powerful thing to do. But it would be irresponsible for me to do that. I don't know if I'm gonna be up and walking around 10 years from now. I might be fucking shitting into a diaper and drooling on a bib in a fucking wheelchair. I can't, in good conscience, bring a fucking child into the world to witness that. That's a fucking terrible thing to do. I can't do it, dude. Outside of the fact that I don't have the fucking money. I don't have the money to do what it takes to raise a kid, to put the money off to the side for college just in case, or bail money if it comes to that. You never know. If you can only do so many things. Eventually, you just gotta hope the kid turns out right. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot to worry about. Fuck.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my god, Samara. Hi. My fucking sticky dog. Wait.
What?
Hold on. Trying to catch my breath.
All right, well, this thing is on.
Yeah. You know, you're recording?
Yeah. Well, it's live right now. So,
What's up, YouTubers?
just so you know. Yeah, definitely. For sure it is, dude. I forgot what the fuck. I was making a bigger point earlier, and I got so far off the thing I was saying, I don't remember what it was. I mean, obviously, it can't be that important. But now I'm trying to look through and see if there's any hint to it.
Did you take her out?
No, I didn't take her out.
Do you think I should give her a little bit more of her wet food? Or save some of the wet food for tomorrow?
Yeah, I would say before tomorrow because it's already 10 o'clock.
Because, tomorrow you don't need to give her a lot. You just give her a little bit.
Well, I was going to say it's already 10 o'clock. I don't know how much more you want her to eat.
Well, she eats whenever she eats,
I know that, but I'm saying you don't want to be up at 3 in the fucking morning
know.
and taking her downstairs because she's got a shit. There's going to be a problem. Especially since it is new food. It's going to hit her stomach eventually, and that's going to be a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, not picking that up.
Ugh.
You're going to drop it right next to the water.
It's going to be fucking rough.
I'm going to leave you with fucking... You got to look up dick words.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Or,
I don't need to do that.
Why?
Why would I want to look up dick words?
Well, no, because you're, we were talking in the car, and she was like, oh my god, did I ever show you, dick words? And I was like, oh no, sorry, not dick words, mushroom dick.
Mushroom dick?
Yeah, not dick words, mushroom dick. It doesn't look like, It looks like somebody
A
was
mushroom?
blowing a dick with their teeth.
Ew.
You know, and also, like how I guess you guys, when you guys zipper up your pants too fast and it catches the dick skin.
Yeah, I have the scars.
I know.
You know how I got these scars?
But if I didn't know where those scars are from,
Yeah.
they would have looked like a little bit like the dick mushrooms,
Ugh,
mushroom
Jesus.
dick.
Jesus.
Because the first signs are these like little clear bubble things. And I'm like, that looks like somebody just caught their dick on the zipper. But she was fucking scrolling down, and fucking I'm like, what? I was like, ew, no, gross. But it's not that bad. It's better than blue cheese.
Dog, get the fuck out of here. The blue waffle
yeah,
you're thinking of.
I don't know
Fuck
why I
that
said blue
fucking
cheese.
bullshit. You're fucking psycho made that goddamn thing. Fuck out of here.
I remember it's something to do with blue stuff.
Yeah, fuck that. Don't look that up. If you don't know what that is, don't look that up. It's
Remember
fucking.
how stupid I was when I heard that? I was like, why would somebody stick a blue waffle in their pussy?
Yeah.
And then I was dumb and I looked it up, and you're like, thank God I didn't.
Yeah, fuck that shit. No, thank you. I don't need all that nonsense in my life.
But yeah, dick warts, YouTube. Not dick warts. Fucking
mushroom dick.
You guys gotta look it up. Blow up his comments. Or however this thing works, with it being live.
I don't think anybody's in danger of really blowing anything up around here. Not really that kind of operation. God damn it, man. Fucking forgot. There was a bigger fucking point I was making, and I don't remember what the fuck it was. But yeah, dude, there's a couple of things. One of them, the first thing, the cerebral palsy, you can look it up. Well, I'll look it up. I'm right here. Might as well educate. I talk. Look, here's the problem, dude. Is I talk to you as if you're here all the time. Right? I talk to you as if you're here all the time. As if you know. I'll pass. Yeah, me too. But I talk to you all the time as if you know what it is that I have going on with me, right? I assume. I don't know why. I don't want to constantly talk about the same shit, even though I should make the disclaimer because I know I sound a certain way, I look a certain way. I probably owe it to the people who are watching and or listening that I should explain that there is some shit wrong with me. Most people think that I'm just stoned all the time, and I have to tell you, I'm a much better date when I am high, but I'm not. But this is what it is. Is a group. Cerebral palsy is a group of permanent movement disorders. It's a goddamn group, dude. Ain't that a bitch? It's not a disease. It's a group, bro. Permanent disorders that appear in early childhood. Signs and symptoms include not being able to read very well, not being able to spell for shit, using the word not correctly in a sentence, and symptoms also vary among people and over time. Often symptoms include poor coordination, aka I cannot ride a bike, which is absolutely 100% true fact. Stiff muscles, 100% true. It hurts all day, every day, like eat a bullet kind of pain. Weak muscles, I'm trying to counteract that by moving around a lot, and tremors, which I do get uncontrollable spasms and shakes and shit, which I can't stop. There may be problems with sensation, vision, hearing, swallowing, and speaking, which I did have tubes surgically placed into my ears when I was a child, which eventually did get removed. But and obviously I was in a speech class for majority of elementary school to be able to get to the point where I am today, where I'm talking to you semi normally. There was a time where it was way worse than it is now. And partially would partially would like to thank rap music for that. For the ability of being able to learn a fucking song and sing along with it and do all that gay shit that people do. I'm able to keep this thing going, dude. It helps to pronounce the words and shit. Like it. I don't have any scientific proof to back it up. I think it helps. I don't know. Congenital disorder of movement, muscle tones, and or posture is due to an abnormal brain development, often before birth. Symptoms include exaggerated reflexes, floppy or rigid limbs, involuntary motions. These appear in early childhood. Long-term treatments include physical and other therapies, drugs, and sometimes surgery. Chronic can be years or like, well, it is years long. It never goes away, you fucking assholes. You don't just wake up one day and not have fucking CP anymore, unfortunately. Look, they tell you physical therapy helps. It doesn't help, but it doesn't hurt. Basically, my muscles are, if you were to picture, I want you to picture the muscles in your body like a rubber band, right? And the difference between your muscles and a rubber band in this case is how you're able to pull and stretch that rubber band. These muscles are fighting you from being able to pull that because they constantly want to retract. They don't want to be able to move the way they're supposed to. They're fighting against their own nature to do what they're supposed to do. The brain is fucked up. The signals are not working properly. That's what this is. The physical therapy is basically there. You literally every day you're supposed to push it to stretch so that it doesn't stick. Would you date a woman with cerebral palsy? I forgot to ask that. I've never met one. I've never met one, but she couldn't. I don't know. She couldn't walk like I do. We both can't. Look, I'm sorry. It is what it is. There's only room. There's only room for one. There's only room for fucking one pirate in this outfit, and that's me, bitch. We can't. I can't have you cramping my fucking style. Okay, look. Some people that will say, don't worry about what other people say. Leave that shit for interracial couples, dude. You know what I mean? That's not for me to say. I don't want people to be able to point over and be like, oh, look at those two retards. We get that enough as it is. She's got the speech issue. I got the walk issue. We complement each other. You know what I mean? We can't have the same issues walking around, at the same time. It's the same shit. That's no good. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I've never met one. I've met a couple of dudes that have had it, but I've never met another woman that has had it. Another woman, like I'm a woman, which I am not. I know, spoiler alert. What a shock that is. Can you walk? Yeah, you can walk. It's hard to do, but it can be done. Most people are confined to a fucking wheelchair. Not me. I fucking fought that shit. It is painful. They're going to tell you it's not. They're going to tell you it isn't. They're going to tell you it isn't. The doctors say that it's not. How the fuck do you know? Do you have it, bitch? No, you don't. So shut the fuck up. Don't tell me what's painful and what's not painful. You think I make this shit up, dude? Fuck out of here, bro. The ignorance of some fucking people. There's no way. I know for a fact that it doesn't hurt. How do you know? How do you know? Oh, I know somebody that has it. Oh, do you? Do you? Because I don't know if you know this. We're not all the fucking same, asshole. We're not all the same. But then again, remember, I have state insurance, because I'm a fucking welfare leech, right? Because it's every poor person's agenda to fucking suck off the system, dude. Like, that's a goddamn victory to have a state health insurance when you walk into a fucking doctor's office where these people don't even want to be bothered. They don't even want to be bothered because apparently the insurance company doesn't even pay them enough to keep the fucking lights on. But yeah, that's the victory, right? Something to be fucking proud of, dude. Fucking motherfuckers. I hate that people think like the system is designed to keep you in a box, bro. It's designed to keep you in a fucking box so that you're forced to stay reliant on the system and there's no fucking way out. You can't get a job working long term, don't really work because it hurts, dude. You did a good job. I thought you were an everyday East Coast douche. Well, you're half right. I definitely am. Well, it's good to know that my East Coast douchiness has worked to start to outshine my disability problems. Although I used to open up YouTube videos with toxicity from System of a Down, and I would pause the song right where it says disorder, and I would tell everybody that I have a disorder. You know, poor people suck. I know. And the cunts, they say they're hungry, but they never swallow, these motherfuckers. Beggars can't be choosers, am I right? We have fun here. Nah, fuck that shit, dude. And then there's also MS, too, because I'm an overachiever. I'm an overachiever, goddammit, and I decided why not have both, apparently. I don't know when did it happen. In 2014, I had a migraine so bad that I couldn't see straight. Literally. I never felt pain like that in my life, dude. So I wound up uh, rushing to the hospital. They put a CAT scan. They put me in a CAT scan. They search. They come back, and I'm in the hospital bed with a fucking pair of sunglasses on and 3 t-shirts over the sunglasses to block out the light because it hurts so fucking bad. I can't, even with my eyes closed and a pair of sunglasses on, it's not dark enough. And they're like, well, it's either you have Lyme's disease or you have multiple sclerosis. It's one of the two. So we're going to refer you to go to a neurologist to figure out which one of those two things it is. So I was like, all right. I mean, I don't think it's Lyme's, but the good news is if I have MS, that means I could fucking qualify for the weed program. Unfortunately, I didn't anticipate how expensive that was going to be, so it don't even work. Well, all jokes aside, you're done pretty damn good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, sir. I do try. It's not easy. I mean, most of it is because I don't have the balls to end it off. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's really what it is on some days. But just to give you a heads up on how this shit works, what exactly this is. It's a disease in which the immune system eats away at the protective even coverings of the nerves in MS, resulting in nerve damage, disrupts communication between the brain and the body. MS causes different symptoms, including vision loss, pain, fatigue, and impaired coordination. The symptoms and severity and the duration can vary from person to person. Some may be symptom free most of their lives, while others can have severe chronic symptoms that never go away. Physical therapy and medication that is used to suppress the immune system can help with symptoms and slow the disease progression. Now, I had to tell you, I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't take the medicine. I won't take the medicine. I won't do it. I won't do it because I don't, I don't, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Be completely honest with you, dude. It's all trial studies. All of this shit is trial studies. They don't know if it's gonna work. Like, oh, it'll help you. It'll help slow down the progression and stop the bleeding in the brain. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know that for a fact? Well, no. I mean, there's no guarantee it's gonna work. All right, then go fuck yourself. How about that? I told all the idiots out here in California legalizing pot would just give the other states a taste of the money. I smoke daily and truly sick of the taxes. Does weed help? It would, and it does. Let me give you the breakdown here. I'm now I mentioned that I have fucking problems and I can't complete a goddamn sentence. Way to be a stereotype. But it does. It was actually it was the way that I was self-medicating since probably 15 years old. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I literally my days, majority of my days in my life consisted of dire pain, icy hot roll-ons, and bathtubs with the water so hot that you would burn your fucking hand if you touched it. And then I would have to submerge myself in that water and try to fucking deal with it, you know, which I appreciate that, which sucked. But that shit didn't work because the second that I get out of the bathtub, the pain would flare up even worse than it was before I went in because now the muscles are going from being extremely tight to loosening up because of the heat to going back into the regularly room temperature, and now they're fucking tightening up even worse than they were before. The fuck good is that? So, one of my dirtbag friends at the time when I started getting into drugs or whatever, and you know, pills were going around. I've already at this stage of my life, I've seen people nodding out on heroin. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I knew looking at these people, something clearly wasn't fucking right. And we were already drinking and running around town and smoking cigars and shit, doing things that kids were doing. But at the same time, me and my boy were running businesses as teenagers while other motherfuckers were going to the block parties, bro. We were DJing the block parties, dude. You know what I mean? We weren't fucking around. We built a wrestling ring from nothing, from scratch. Tires, planks of wood, rope, duct tape, all that shit. So we weren't exactly stupid kids. And now, granted, I wasn't exactly the brain trust of the operation, but just the fact that, dude, we knew the fucking mayor of our town on a first name basis. I don't know what that means to a lot of people, but to me, I think that's the fucking shit, dude. To have the fucking mayor of a town that you live in know who you are on a first name fucking basis and go, we're trying to organize a block party for this summer. Do you guys think do you think you can put it on the schedule to DJ it this year? That's ill, dude. That's what that is. I don't give a fuck who you are. That's the shit right there. You can say whatever you want, small town, whatever's in. Oh, you big fucking deal, dude. So what? Like, no, it was something. It was something. I'll get far off topic here, dude. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is that I've been around and I've seen some shit. Some motherfuckers start smoking weed, and I was like, you know what? I said, how many? There's memories that I have, dude. Like I told you, I remember seeing people. I've seen early on what alcohol can do to people. I've seen all the stages of all the drugs. I've seen all of it in different stages, different settings. I mean, there was one point in my life where I lived in what the kids would refer to now as a trap house, dude. I've seen it all, bro. I've seen it all. So I'm getting way ahead of myself, though, dude. It, one of the earliest memories that I have is seeing a couple of older people who were basically high schoolers when we were in elementary school, smoking weed out on the boardwalk, and looking at them and the way that the drug affected them in their minds immediately stuck out to me. Like, okay, this is not cocaine. This is not heroin. I mean, again, I didn't know what those things were really at that time, but I could tell whatever the drug was doing to these people was different. They were able to function. They were still the same pretty much after they did it. I used to harvest weed up in Oregon with my friend every year in high school. He lived way out in the sticks. Shit was awesome. I miss those small towns are awesome. I grew up in a town of 5,000. Holy shit, that's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, the town that I originally grew up in, a city that I'm living in now, moved around a bunch and then wound up landing in a place called Ocean Gate for like 16 years. I mean, thankfully, I did, because that's where I met Jen. That's where I met a lot of people that I know now. I'm grateful for that. But fuck that fucking place, dude. That place sucks. It's the worst ever. It's the beef I have with small towns, bro. That it's so small that the cops basically have nothing better to do than break your balls all day. Even though we're around town, don't get me wrong. I know we're up to no good. I know we're up to no good, but if all we're doing is smoking a little bit of weed and just hanging out amongst ourselves and doing shit around this, like, there's worse shit we could be doing. You know what I mean? But I guess that's a real loose wristed liberal thing to say, right? Probably. But look at this, dude. This is the city where I was at for a long time, or the town rather. Ocean Gate is a borough in Ocean County, New Jersey, United States. As of the 2010 United States Census, which I was living there, I believe, at the time, the borough's population was 2,011, reflecting a decline of 65 from the 2,076 counted in the 2000 census, which had turned in a decline from 2 in the 1990 census. Bro, 2,000 people. That's how tiny it was. But I mean, this place is all beach houses mostly. And the cops, bro, let me tell you something. I had the local police department come up to me on everything I love in this world, dude, and tell me that I need to move because I was bringing down the property value in this town. I'll never forget what this man said to me. He goes, and I will quote, he said, this is a tourist town. We're trying to pull money into this place. If you spend a few million on a beach house, when you're gonna go drive to go to your beach house, do you want to see somebody that looks like you sitting outside on the steps just existing? I wouldn't want to see that. People come here to get away from things like you. They don't want to see that. So if I was you, if you were smart, you would find a way to get some money together and get the fuck out of here as quick as possible. Because let me tell you something. I may not have anything on you right now, but I will find something. And when I do, you're going to go down and you're going to remember that I gave you this opportunity to leave. Closest town is literally 7 miles away. Oh, but see, this is way different because there are intersecting towns that are very close to it, i.e., Bayville, Waretown, Manahawkin to the south, uh, Beechwood, Pine Beach. These places are all close by. So it's not that it's super far away, but I mean, it's wild, dude. But bro, I'm telling you, it was crazy. But to backtrack a little bit, smoking weed, I discovered fairly quickly that it did help. And ironically enough, it I got so used to smoking and not being in pain that it's almost like I forgot that it helped my pain, if that makes any sense. Like, and I was hiding it from my mom. Dude, we lived in a fucking rundown Section 8 building where she still lives now. One day I'm gonna go quote unquote home, and I'm gonna take some video of this place. I'm gonna do like a mini documentary. Even though nobody gives a shit. Look, I'm telling you, I'm not doing this because I think I'm the fucking man and I'm gonna blow up one day. But I want to tell a fucking story with the time that I have on this fucking planet, and I'm gonna leave something behind that nobody can give a shit about. Mainly, it's for the people that are in my life, dude. Because oh my god, I'm such a fag. I'm about to cry right now. I'm gonna say it's for the kids, pretty much. But yeah, normalize my pain. Exactly. Thank you for pulling me out of that. I was about to fucking sprout a vagina over here, dude. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so I was hiding it from my mom. We lived in a fucking little Section 8 building, dude. It was 2 stories. So in my head, I thought I was slick. In my head, I thought I was slick, dude. And I would make a makeshift bong out of a water bottle, a piece of tinfoil, a cigarette, or something that I could light on fire and put out quickly enough that I wouldn't worry about burning the house down. I would burn a carb in the. Here, I'll put the camera on for this so I can. I'm sure if I demonstrate. Oh shit! I hit a button. If I demonstrated to you how to make one, I'm sure that would be illegal. But if I just if I just talk about it, I'm sure it's fine. Probably not. Whatever. What are they gonna do? Arrest me again? I'm on charges already from years ago, dude. It's been like 14 years, something like that. Poor man's Eminem. Jeez, even Eminem will look at me and go, I mean, come on, dude. I fucking have a little respect, right? The only thing I ever did wrong was beat my wife. At least I don't look like that. But dude, you fucking say this is the bottle that you're going to use. So check this out. What we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna rip this label off because fuck you, pay me. All right? Fuck out of here. These cunts don't pay me any money. So we're using our imaginary branding bottle. Educational purposes. Yes, that's exactly what this is. hypothetically speaking, if you live in a state where a substance like marijuana would be legal, and you don't, if your bowl is broken or you ran out of screens for your bong, and I know using a screen is probably very high end for some people. It's probably sound like a snob right now. But if you need something quick and in a pinch and you're not really sure how to get it done, pay you for it. For your 3 views. Goddamn right. All 3 of them. I don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, I gotta get that off whenever I can. Honestly, like I said, I know that this is not the empire that Spotify is looking to kick my door down and give me $100 million, whatever. But things could change. You never know. We do know, but you never know. So what you would do, you put a carb in the side if you wanted one. It's not absolutely necessary. All right, for the sake of the demonstration, I'm not gonna get tinfoil, but let's say we'll say this is tinfoil, right? So then what you would do, hole in the side, hole in the front. That's so you can suck out one end, phrasing, and hold the carb down for the other. So what you would do is you would take your tinfoil, place it over the top, poke holes in the tinfoil, and then drop your weed on there, light it up, pull that motherfucker like that, and you're in business, dude. That's how you do it. The part that I'm leaving out of this fucking story is that I was stupid. I was young. I didn't know any better because I was a fucking moron, right? I didn't have a lighter. I ran out of matches. Something happened. I needed to figure out. All right, dude, you too. Enjoy yourself. I grabbed a barbecue lighter, like a big one. A big one that you have to click fucking 2 times for it to work. And I'm sitting out on the steps in the middle of the apartment, and I'm lighting up this fucking bowl. And I know I'm gonna get fucking caught because I'm stupid, but I'm not dumb. She does eventually wind up catching me, but it's just the point that I mean I did what I had to do. But it's a long-winded way, and I'm getting sidetracked. They're saying that the weed does help, and now that the person that asked me that question is gone, what's the point really? But it does help, and the weed that's out today is way different than anything that was around when I used to smoke, dude. This shit is a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level, dude. Bro, clean. There is none of that. I'm gonna fucking smoke and have to, go pass out on the couch for fucking 8 hours in a haze of brownies and Cheetos. Like, I mean, sure, you have a little bit of that depending on what the strain is, but this is some shit that you can smoke and be a productive human being. It's not like it was in the old days. It's the unfortunate part of it is how goddamn expensive it is. The license. I've also murdered this point to death on this channel for all of the 2 viewers that I have. So I mean, it doesn't matter. I could pretty much talk about whatever I wanted, but cares. I don't give a fuck if it's 1 viewer, dude. It's the point that this is something that I enjoy doing, so I'm doing it. It is funny though. If 20 people filed in here every couple of hours, more people see that. Because people are passing by and they're seeing only 2 people, more people are gonna pass by this than would come in and check it out because they think it's not worth checking out. It's funny how that shit works, dude. But whatever. I do this because when it's not fun for me anymore, then I won't do it. But for the time being, I like it. It's fun. I'm enjoying myself. To which I know every time I do one of these, I bring up, and I'm sorry I've gone way off topic to the original thing that I went to talk about here today. But you know what? That's what we do here. There's no sense in structure because I've never had any. But since we do this every time we come on the show, every time we come on, I cover where I am in the podcast world. What episode am I up to? What am I currently working on? What is happening? Okay. Well, she finally hit Jen up. Why? Like, that's your girl, dude. Why would you not call her first? Right? Is it me or is that fucked up? You're hitting me up first. I guess because I'm supposed to be the compassionate one, right? Like when you were trying to eat her pussy, though, that was all good. Like, what the fuck? That's not what the conversation is. God damn it! Don't get sidetracked. So the podcast is. This is where we're at. Oh, the stories. I could tell the fucking stories in their entirety now because I'm not gonna fucking being whatever. So listen, here it is. Going all the way back 40s. Look at that, dude. Seven hits on Anchor. That's that's the highest one since the podcast trailer. And before that, episode 58 was the only other one to hit 7 on this platform since I've gone solo and started doing this on my own, which is fucking cool. But so 40s is out, episode 71, 72, all the way to 79 or posted. Here's what I've done over the last few days. Anytime you want to start a Jerry Springer show, I'm all in for it. Well, dude, okay, you know what? I told this story on the podcast before, but I'll tell it again. No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Because what if he whatever. They weren't together, right? So what does it matter? I'm not gonna say any names. Well, I already told the story. Fucking who gives a shit, right? You already know what it is. So what? Like, I can't now. Now I can't. I did it. I said it. I fucking. I'm too aware of it. It doesn't matter. I didn't do anything wrong. For some reason, I feel guilty if I talk about it. Right? Like, it'd be different if I was actively trying to fuck this bitch, which was not the case at all. But still. Anyway, you know, where the fuck am I at here? Okay, so the last time I was on here, I think we had up to episode was up to July 11th. Since then, technically, we are up to August 8th. Tree Rats is done. That's one that I just recently got finished editing. Misery, I have to finish. I fucked up. Full disclosure, I fucked up. I meant to talk about the movie, got completely derailed off the conversation of the movie because I did watch it recently and heavy. But that'll be a different episode of consider doing a watch along in one form or another where I'm going basically I will watch the movie and commentate on it. I might do it, I might not, but this one is not finished. It needs to be edited. Whatever this is needs to be edited. I don't remember. Is I just titled it August 8th. I don't even know. I don't know what this is all about. I forget. It doesn't matter. Look, the point is the misery episode needs to be worked on. August 8th episode needs to be worked on, and I'm currently in the process of editing an episode right now. So that's three more. The one I'm currently in the process of editing, and these two up here. So that's already the 8th. Let me fast forward. We're already up to August 15th, technically. In the podcast world, that's where we're at. Even though, I mean, I got excited because finally the 40s episode was finally dropped today. I've read the next one that I'm honestly excited for. Even I only listen to it I only listen to these after I edit them to make sure all the drops are in the right places and to seeing if the punches actually land where they're supposed to land. Do I actually think that that's funny or is it stupid? Do I need to go back to the drawing board and figure out something else? But after that, then I post it and I never fucking look at it again. But the next one I'm excited for is episode 73, which is gay words, dude. That's going to be the jam, bro. That's the shit right there. I'm telling you, dude. That's going to be the jam. By the way, the intro series, the second installment of the intro series is out right now. I'm cutting intros for the podcast episodes, and I just made a couple of more today, so I decided to release the 20 minutes that I had, like just to give you a little sneak peek and it'll give me a moment to get up and take a piss. But you know what? I'll pull it up on YouTube because I don't want to give myself any false numbers on the podcast platform. Death of the American Gangster film. Fuck you talking about? The Irishman was the shit, dude. I mean, for the most part, it's dead, yeah, but come on now. Let's not act like there's still not the capability of making a goddamn classic. Oh, I gotta watch that one. I didn't see it yet. When You Fall on Your Face on the next project. I haven't watched that episode yet. I've been listening to those guys weekly since you put me on to them, dude. Oh shit, we've maintained. We'll see how long it takes for me to lose. I had 536 at one point, or 538, and then I released a few videos, and I was back down to 532, and then I've gone and gained back a couple of those that I've lost. So we'll see what happens. And then it's up to 32 hits on YouTube, which is pretty good. Not bad. All right, now I gotta switch because I fucking screen shared the wrong screen. Share. Come on. Holy shit. Jen's getting aggravated. I can hear it in her voice. Welcome to my world, motherfucker. Now the only difference between what you're doing and what I do is you're not gonna get in trouble if you don't want to listen to that shit anymore, and you can say something crazy and not have to worry about repercussions.
The following program is intended for.
Oh, dude, this. All right, let me give you a little bit of commentary on the creative choices, but behind this, which nobody asked for. This beat and the one after this, I just found today, which is why I put these together because I like the beat so much, which I forgot I have to email them to myself. I listen to this shit. Like when I mix this stuff together, dude, I listen to this like it's a fucking like a regular music album. I know I'm a sick fuck for doing that, but I genuinely like these beats. I don't use things that I don't like. I wouldn't push something out to you that, you know what I mean? Possibly the
following
best
program is intended for
quote
mature
ever.
audiences.
We're in the quarantine. We're in a stunning state. I don't have to tell you any of this. You should be figuring it out yourself.
Oh, and just like that.
You're slugs, many of you. It's not my fault. You crawl on the ground. You haven't evolved into a being that can handle the information that I'm telling you. Multiple sclerosis isn't real. They're just clumsy. They're just clumsy people.
Bro, dude, that's how you do it. That is how you do that right there. That is how you do that right there. I literally I have tears in my eyes, bro, because I know he doesn't mean it when he says it, but the way that he delivers it, it sounds believable. Like that's what he believes, but it's not true. And it makes it so much better that he this is what and his producer, dude, his producer, that poor kid that sits in the room with him, is, oh, bro. All this dude is the best job in the world, bro. All right besides me, because what I'm doing is the shit. I come in here all the time, and 99% of the time, I'm laughing at something or concocting something together that is going to make me laugh, and I can put it out, and I dare call it content. You know, it's tiring some days, sure. There's some times where I look at what I'm doing and I go, why did I do this to myself? Why did I make it so that I had to put stupid fucking noises and movie quotes or whatever into what it is I'm doing? Because it's annoying once in a while. I'm working on something right now. I kind of want to show you. I just don't know. I know how I could do it. I know I could do it. Alright, hold on. I'll let this play and I'm gonna grab you a snippet out of the episode that I'm working on right now, because when I found it, I knew I wanted the first clip, and when I found the second one, I was like, oh dude, this is too good to be true. Thank you to the internet gods for giving this to me, because like you don't even know what I'm about to use this for right now. It's like not even not even right that you do this. I'm gonna rewind this for a moment, and I'm gonna do this real fast. So I'm gonna work.
Quarantine.
Give me a moment.
We're in a stunning state.
That's right.
I don't have to tell you any of this.
Nope.
You should be figuring it out yourself.
I'm trying. I'm at 33 minutes and 50 seconds.
You crawl on the ground. You haven't evolved into a being that can handle the information that I'm telling you. Multiple sclerosis isn't real. They're just clumsy. They're just clumsy people. Parkinson's disease is people that want attention. Yeah, we see ya. We see ya, Uncle Frank. We get it. How about you stop the shaking and come up with a funny anecdote?
Bro. That's so disrespectful, dude. Why don't you stop the shaking and come up with a useful antidote, dude? Oh, fuck. It's not fair how funny he is, dude. It really isn't fair. It's not. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't have it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, the one.
Oh, my God. Woo! Fuck. Dude, that made my back itchy. I laughed so hard. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. God damn it. It's hilarious. I forgot to press play again. I'm sorry. I'm laughing here like a fucking asshole.
I've never met a pharmacist who I didn't want to kill.
Don't gaslight me. Don't lie to me. I
Don't
want
do
your
it to
bullshit.
the
I
man.
don't want any more partisan fuckery. You people, you fucking people, you keep fighting each other and making this a partisan shit show. You keep letting the politicians get away with murder. You keep letting the rich get richer while we all fight for scraps. Don't you get it? Don't you see? Don't you understand? Your brothers and sisters on the other side of the politics are also cops. They're also nurses. They're also union members. They're also factory workers. Your brothers and sisters from the other side of politics also live in your state, your city, your town. They're your relatives and your friends and your co-workers and teammates. Jesus.
All right, hold on. Because I gotta. Okay, I think I'll start there. Oh, maybe right there. Fuck. Come on, dude, hurry up. So slow to get to the point. Come on, man. All right, wait. I'll start right there. Okay, now I know where I want to start. Now I need to figure out where the end is. Yes. Okay. I think. Oh, and I got a video edit too. Oh, Jesus. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to give you all that because that's just stupid. I got it. I think I got it.
Right, we are fighting the wrong battle. Somehow these fucking politicians have blue-collar workers from both sides fighting each other for no fucking reason while the filthy rich laugh and shit and spit and piss on us all.
Your phone has 10 times the bacteria of your toilet, which your dog drinks out of and then licks you.
Yummy. I just realized, how am I going to upload this if I'm on the
I
fucking
can see
YouTube?
right over there, right now, one
Right?
of my dogs lying on the driveway
Let's
like
see.
a dead fucking fly. The driveway where cars with God knows what on their tires pull in, and then that idiot rolls in it. And the other one, I don't know where he is, which means he's into something worse. Sometimes I see a dead mouse in the driveway.
Fuck those things.
I don't have a cat. Something here killed it. I'm not pointing fingers, but there's only the three of them. My point is,
You know what?
God knows what is all over your pets and in their mouth, and then you invite them on the bed and they try to French kiss you.
I'll
and
just put it
sometimes
up on the
succeed.
anchor.
And some people don't even fight it. But what's the point of a pet? If you're not going to pet it, it's in the name.
Right.
And what's the point of life if you can't live it? Have you ever had sex in a hotel?
Yep.
Did you wash your hands first?
Nope.
Well, the last couple didn't either.
Yum. Hotel sex. Yum. Can you imagine? All right, hold on. Let me pull this up. I'm going to upload it on the Anchor real fast, so I'll be able to share the tab and play it with you. I love this beat, dude.
Seriously, do you have any idea how many times I should have literally died in the last year?
Wow me.
Krieger, tell her.
Including that thing last week?
Hey, this is totally safe, right?
Technically?
As in actually, Krieger.
Kind of feels like probably.
to both of those. Wait, what? Then 9. Boosh.
Please tell me there's a point.
Point is, if you hit pause on your whole angry negativity thing
Angry what?
for like 1 second, you'd notice we always end up fine. So we may be pushing our luck at this point.
Christ on a cracker! Is this whole frickin' planet uphill? Jesus, is that a thing?
At least it means we're not totally lost going in circles.
No, she's not
Not
calling
really
me.
entirely unlost.
Yeah, she is.
We're
What the
not lost
fuck,
idiots.
dude?
I know how to work the whatchamahickey.
Really? Because
Oh, I'm
whatchamahickey
not
doesn't
picking it
inspire
up.
tons
I'm
of
trying to
confidence.
create, goddammit.
Call it.
Or am I being...
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Don't pressure me. I know you were just talking to her. You don't need me, dude. Stop it. Stop it. It's like the 5th time you're calling me, bro. I know. They're like, oh, good dick, son. Just stop it. I'm kidding. I never fucked her. Could have, probably, but never did. Never did. So anyway, let's share this tab. Now I lost the only other person that was in here that probably gave a shit, or maybe they don't, and that's why they left. That's a good point. Okay. Here you go. Okay, and hopefully this will work. Like, what is this really all about? Who's pulling the strings? When is the punchline coming? Like, this is a joke, right? This whole thing is made up. Like, we all need to take a moment in our lives right now, including you, and we all should thank Domino's for existing. Why should we do that? They make terrible food, and I don't really appreciate that you would tell me that I should do something like that. I don't want to do it. Well, I'm going to tell you why you should do it. Here's why. Big reveal.
You are the gayest since gay came to gay town.
Whoa, easy.
Are you kidding me? This is third world, and I'm from the first. I'm number 1, baby.
Something was just placed there. I don't know what. If it wasn't for places like Domino's, there would be people that would have no idea what to do with their lives at all. There you go. I don't even remember why I brought it up, but that was just a beautiful thing dude, he says you're the gayest since gay came to Gay Town, and then continues to help me out by saying the food industry. This is third world, and I'm from the first. I was like, oh, dude, please, you're making the episode for me. Why don't you? Jesus Christ. Fucking shit on a shingle. And piss for dessert, right? God damn it, man. Well, I kind of want to play a snippet of this. I don't know what this is. If I could figure it out. All right, that's the second part. Damn. Okay. All right, I'm doing it. The remote again. Okay. For what? From a different location. From an exotic location. My couch. Stupid ass. A couple of things that I want to cover. Okay. Quickly. Like what? One. Damn it. I was just going to fucking say something. Bro, take your time, dude. I got all night. What the fuck it was. Take your time, dude. I got all night. Not like I'm trying to get to a fucking point or anything. You just take as long as you need. All right. So look, I got to fucking edit that. I don't feel like listening to me right now. So, I mean, I don't really feel like listening to me ever. But I deal with it because I have to. Because if I don't, who's gonna? Who's gonna edit it? Right? I have to do it. If I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. And holy shit, that's an hour and 20 minutes? That's way too long. Well, plus I still have 20 minutes on Shut Eye that I didn't use. So I probably could turn that into a separate episode. While I'm sitting here, though, I guess I'm gonna email this to myself. Email the beats to myself so I can listen to them. And I was thinking about what people say about me when Archer is talking to Lana about how her default setting is pretty much anger all the time and she's miserable. I think about like that's how people must perceive me when I do this shit. But yeah, I don't know. Dude, I'm way off topic. I guess I'll just wrap it up. It's 2-3 hour shows pretty much. Well, this one's 2.5 hours. I have a bunch of stuff lined up, dude. Wait, what? Fucking Twitter, bro. What are you talking about? I forgot what I was saying. God damn it. Watch, I'm probably the only one left. Oh yeah, I was gonna email myself those fucking beats. That's what I was going to do. Right. So I'll do that quickly. And you can find all these beats that I'm using. You can find them in the YouTube audio gimmick, whatever it's called. So I'm taking them while I can before they tell me I'm not allowed to have that anymore either. Fucking ridiculous nonsense. But a 3-hour show yesterday, 2.5 hours today. I've worn my voice out clearly, as you can hear. I mean, there's no reason why anybody should talk this much ever. No reason. I mean, thank God I never like fucking cocaine, dude. Can you imagine if if I had cokehead energy coming in here doing a fucking show? People can't shut me up now as it is. You can imagine what it would be like, dude. It's gotta be a fucking nightmare. And now I gotta go and call this fucking maniac after she's already had a fucking 2-hour conversation about whatever it is she wants to talk about. Honestly, I'm not I get that she wants to talk to somebody. There's nothing I could do. I have my own fucking issues, man. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you, but the reality is you don't care about my advice. If I thought about making beats again, I don't have the software anymore, but I definitely would. I would love to fucking fuck around with a beat maker again once in a while. That would be cool. Even though I haven't increased any of my knowledge on beat making, some of the mumble rapper beats that I've heard lately have led me to believe that I may possibly be able to make a fucking beat like that. Possibly better, but I don't think this computer is equipped to be able to handle a big program like that, and I don't have access to Fruity Loops anymore. So I don't have the ability to do it, but it is something that I would definitely do. Then I would try to make my own beats and mix shit to it. Then it would be an entire independent operation, even though I would still use beats from outside, my own shit. I mean, you can go all the way back to the early days of the YouTube channel and you can hear some of the terrible beats that I put together. And it's in the spirit of where I'm bringing it back to now because, I don't know why I like doing it. I feel like the music adds it adds to the emotion of whatever it is that is being talked about in the clip. I can't scientifically prove that, but, that's what I think. But look, I'm losing my fucking voice. I gotta get out of here. I need to fucking get up and pee. I should have got up 10 minutes ago. I didn't. I appreciate everybody that is stopping by in the future. People who have came by today. I don't know what the future of any of this means for this program or any other smaller programs. Maybe Spotify buys the biggest shows that there is and shuts down everybody else. Maybe it turns into fucking, a nomad's land where, small independent companies are going to be running rampant, trying to scramble to get out from the shadow that is the corporate umbrella and do their own shit. I don't know. All I know is that I'm not big enough to make a difference in the grander scheme of the way that the business works, but at the same time, I don't want to fall victim to the predator that is the business before I get an opportunity to create what it is that I'm doing. I don't want people to be able to tell me what I can and what I can't say. I'm not even trying to say anything that crazy. It's just the ability to be able to say it. I've honestly thought about not even uploading the private parts episode to YouTube to save me the headache of worrying about it being fucking flagged by some asshole who wants to be triggered by every little fucking thing. I don't want to deal with all that, but at the same time, I'm a goddamn content creator. I'm supposed to take risks. If they take the fucking channel from me, so be it. Anybody that really gives a shit about what I do will know where to fucking find me. And them bees the breaks, dude. There's nothing I can do about it. I think I have to just lean into it. Maybe not. Maybe it's a stupid way of thinking. Maybe I should just clean up my act and fucking go industry, right? Who would that hurt? Well, while it probably wouldn't hurt anybody, what it wouldn't do is wouldn't do me any favors. I think the fact that I'm willing to be able to speak the honest truth the way that I perceive it. It doesn't mean that I'm right. Understand me. Understand me. We can have a difference in opinion, right? And just because I believe something doesn't mean I'm right, but that doesn't mean that I'm wrong either. And by selling out and going the direct route of towing an industry line and only talking about what everybody only talks about, it strips me away from the small amount of individuality that I have left, which I have been chained to my entire life for being disabled. It's the same thing that I got beat up for and spit on in school. It's the same thing that prevents me from doing other shit that normal people can do. And maybe that's why I'm so obsessed with being able to speak my mind and say what I want to say and not have somebody tell me what I can and what I can't do, because for my entire life I've been ridiculed for the fact that I'm different. And now all of a sudden, because corporations want to, figuratively fucking throw themselves from water onto land to become a walking, talking being of sorts, all of a sudden I gotta fucking conform. I'm sorry, where the fuck were you in high school when I was getting my ass beat because I walk with a fucking limp, huh? Where the fuck were you when that was all going on? Or you didn't give a fuck about towing the party line then, did you? Because it didn't matter. I didn't know what I wanted to say then. I knew I had something to say. I didn't know what it was. Even then, when I was walking around, too scared to fight motherfuckers, we're going to be honest. This is some shit I need to bring up on the fucking podcast for real. No shit. This is a legitimate topic that needs to be brought up on the podcast for real. which is, bullying and fighting back, shit like that. Being afraid to even defend yourself, because what if you hit this person on the wrong angle and you break their fucking nose and their bone goes into their brain, and then you go to prison forever. You will never see the outside again, ever. Because somebody wanted to start a fight. You had to forfeit the rest of your life, which you didn't opt into that when you woke up this morning, but that's how it went down. I was afraid of that. Is that an irrational fear? I'm sure. Play armchair psychologist for a moment. I'm completely sure that it's a psychotic thought to have. And the law of averages would probably predict that there would be a better chance of that not happening than there actually would be of that happening. But the general thought of it being a possibility scared me enough to just be like, fuck it, I'll just take the beating, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's just easier. They're not really hurting me. I can handle it. If I can handle it, and then it started to become a game of rationalization. Oh, well, then maybe I should only hit somebody back when they actually hurt me. What kind of sick shit is that to think? You should defend yourself always. When the kids started coming back from school, talking about kids are picking on me and trying to beat me up, I was like, dude, on on like real low, like not trying to. I don't advocate bullying. I'm not advocating violence, but on the DL between me and you, I'd be like, yo, fuck that kid up. Don't let anybody put their fucking hands on you. You understand me? Somebody puts their hands on you, you fucking crack them and you make them remember why they don't fuck around with you. Sure, you're gonna get in trouble, but that kid's not gonna fucking touch you again. And if he does, you give him a run for his goddamn money. Don't let people push you around, because I needed somebody to say that to me when I was fucking younger, to give me maybe the confidence to fucking stick up for myself. But I think this even is deep rooted in depression, man. I think maybe I was just so fucked up over the way that my life was that maybe I wanted to fucking punish myself on some level. So I took it and dealt with it. I didn't respond the way that I should have. Maybe I was punishing myself. There's a lot that goes into this, dude. I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you the observations as I think of them now, years later, as I can sort of frame what was happening and look at it through a different lens now that I'm older, a little bit wiser. Like, I wasn't super dumb. I wasn't super dumb as a kid, but I took unnecessary risks that I would never take today. I would never. Today, I won't get in the car with somebody who's been drinking. Before, it was like, whatever. You know what I mean? Now, if somebody's going to make a sale of some sort, I don't want to be around when that happens. You know what I mean? I don't want to take any unnecessary fucking chances. I've done my share of stupid shit. I got in trouble. I'm too old now, dude. And I know I'm only 30 something, but it's the point, bro. You gotta fucking grow up at some point. You have to decide what it is that you want out of your fucking life. You have to decide what you want out of your life. Do you want to worry about taking risks every day that could potentially land you in jail or fucking prison? There's nothing, for everybody that brags about how fucking cool it is to sell drugs and make money and fuck bitches and fuck the police and all that. There's nothing cool about not being able to rent a fucking apartment for 13 years because you got 3 grams of weed on your fucking record. Ain't nothing cool about that, but you're not going to hear that in a fucking mumble rap song. You're not going to hear about when you take too many fucking Xanaxes, you can fuck around and have a seizure and die. You're not going to hear that. People don't like to, as Ryan Sickler would say, they don't like to highlight the lowlights, dude. They just want to constantly talk about what a great everything in life is one giant cigarette commercial, dude. It's all the positive aspects of all of these things. Look cool smoking Camels with your buddy Joe in the billiard room, dude. Don't worry about the cancer. That little lump on your neck, that's not shit. Don't even worry about that. You just light up. Go ahead, go. Don't even worry about it. You look cool. That's the important part. Don't eat those fucking ecstasy pills. Don't worry about what it's doing to your fucking brain. You can pee in a bag later. That's not for you to worry about now. That's for you to worry about 15 years from now when you can't fucking retain a thought. You know what I mean? That's the this is what it is, dude. The sad part is if I did clean up my fucking act, I think that's the type of shit that I would talk about. But even then, so the problem is if you give into that, then where does it end? You have to draw a line somewhere, right? Because if you allow them to push you and say, well, you can't talk about somebody's fucking dingling, right? Or whatever they call it. You're not allowed to talk about that. All right, I won't talk about it. I'll talk about, you know, getting bullied at school or whatever. Oh, yeah, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about that because see, by you doing that, then what happens is you're encouraging kids that are getting bullied to not go to school, or you're promoting violence by telling them to fight back, and we can't have that. So you can't talk about that. Okay, well, what if I just talk about my own experiences? Well, see, but there's no real way for us to substantiate what it is that you're talking about right now, and that's probably not the word that I should have used, but there's no way for us to know that what you're saying is actually the truth. So we don't know if you're misleading people. You know, you gotta draw the line somewhere, dude. Don't let them fucking push you around. But whatever, now I'm just talking shit. Look, it's been fun. I stayed in here a little bit longer than I should have, but I really do need to go. Fuck. I'm leaving. Once I shut this down, I'm leaving for the night, and that's it. I'm not going to. Edit anything else for today. But look, I appreciate everybody once again laughing at birds every Saturday. The social medias are available if you choose to follow them at Laughing Birds on Twitter, at Laughing Birds Pod on Instagram. You know, follow those pages if that is something you're interested in. Artwork and clips of the show posted up daily, which reminds me, I don't have a clip yet for this week. But once I'm done, I'm leaving this fucking room. I'm not doing anything else. Tomorrow's another day. Maybe I'll finish this edit out in the morning. I mean, I'm 33 minutes into a. Oh, fuck me. It looks like it's an hour and 30-minute podcast. I'm going to have to cut some of this shit out, I think. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I'm not doing it tonight, though. I could fucking tell you that. I'm going to go take some CBD and I'm going to try to relax because I had a very bad night last night. And I'm also going to write down, I want to talk about my pain and what it feels like, what the difference is with the CBD versus without it, what the Percocet does, what it feels like to not have it. I want to cover these things because I'm in a unique position to be able to talk about these kinds of things, and there might be other people in the world that could benefit from what I'm doing. So rather than bitch about what I should and should not talk about. I should take an opportunity to take advantage of the fact that I do have a fucking platform before Spotify decides to come and steal it all away from everybody and try to make a positive impact in the fucking world, right? That's what I should do. So look, I really do, honestly, for the last time that I'm going to say it, I appreciate every fucking one of you. Even if you are few of the many, it doesn't matter. The point is, no matter how many of us there are, this is still something that we're able to do. And while these other fucking assholes are concerned about hitting a specific number, I'm worried about maintaining authenticity and being true to who the fuck I am and trying to entertain you and make you laugh and sometimes make myself laugh and entertain me as well. You know? That's what this is fucking about. It's trying to have a good time before the deep dark fucking close comes and swallows us all whole and we're all fucked and whatever, however it's gonna end. You know what I mean, dude? Just try to enjoy yourself, whatever you're doing for the rest of the night. Maintain your composure and you will hear from me, hopefully, if not sooner, definitely on Saturday for sure. I will see you around.